Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Zagard-tastic stream. It's your friend, the one, the only Z, a single Zagard, and I hope you're all having a wonderful morning, noon, night, evening, whatever time it is for you today. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den, my friends, and it is another wonderful, beautiful, magical Mondays here in the Dragon's Den. How are you all doing? I hope you had a wonderful weekend, as I did as well. I see Alpha has already begun to lark, and we have Paddock, a.k.a. Gideon Marjolis, and many others in the chat. Thank you all for joining us. How are you all doing? Let's just put some chill music in the background. Sushi wants to come in, but now is not the time, Sush. I should probably turn that up. Oh, that much louder than I planned. Much louder. Let me turn that down a bit. Yes. Till it's kind of. Yeah, we'll put it at 50. 50 seems good. And then we'll turn it down a bit over here, so it's more background music for you. Yes. 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 There we go. Anyways, How are you all doing? Hello, Crimson Sparta. So today we're going to be doing something kind of different. As you may know, I stream quite often on Wednesday, the day of Odin, with the Mythology guy. And one thing I have begun to notice in the shorts, I'm not happy with the audio. Like, it doesn't sound terrible. Doesn't sound great either. It just bugs me a bit, and I want to fix it. So I have purchased some items to kind of improve it and make it a little bit cleaner. I'm actually going to turn this down a bit more. There we go. Maybe I'll turn up there, and then I'll turn it down here. There we go. That way, is it still just kind of like in the background for you? Can you hear it, but it's not too loud? Let me know. When is the God of War DLC for Ragnarok? I don't know. Eventually, it's not going to be next. You guys got to stop asking that, because the more you ask, the more you're actually stressing out. When you constantly ask for a video from a creator, it actually doesn't make them finish it faster. It just stresses them out. Because either they're working on it now, and people are they're hungry for it, right? And that makes you stressed out because you're like, oh, I gotta fix it, work on it more. But the more you're stressed while working on something, the more mistakes you make, which means the more time you actually have to spend working on it. That's the first thing. That's the best option that comes out of constantly badgering a creator about something. The second thing is, if you constantly badger a creator, what ends up happening is they get annoyed, and then they say, you know, I'm going to delay it just to make you annoyed. And they won't say that out loud, but they'll think it, because humans, we're not perfect. So while you're, I know, excuse me. While I understand that people want to see it, asking where it is or when it will be is a futile effort, because there are other projects that are more important than that. I am the editor of Andrew's channel, yes. And I'm going to tell you right now, we are nowhere close to doing that one. We are nowhere close to doing that, because there are other projects that are more valuable than that one. For instance, that Pokemon one was pretty important because Pokemon Legends EA had come out about a week or so before that one came out, so we needed to do that one for the hype. And if you look at Mythology stuff that is coming out within the next few months, you're going to see God of War is not on that list. So anything God of War Ragnarok related, or God of War related in general, is going to be on the lower end of priorities. And then you have to look at what has come out. So Hades 2, that's a pretty big thing that he would have to do it, because that came out. Ghost of Yote, people want to see him talk about that. That one has it has a fairly big one, but not quite as big, because his audience doesn't care that much about Ghost of Yote or Ghost of Tsushima. Then, what's coming out next month? Well, there's Percy Jackson Season 2. He doesn't have a video about the Percy Jackson live-action TV show. That tells you that any video about that is going to be probably top priority. Then, on the same day, Record of Ragnarok Season 3 comes out, I believe. Or it's Season 4. I can't remember for sure. I'm going to say Season 3, though. And he hasn't done a Record of Ragnarok Season 2 in accuracy yet.
Someone has entered.
So that's going to put that higher on the list. So right now, the two highest on the list are Percy Jackson live-action TV show video and a God of War Ragnarok Season 2 video. Those are on the highest list. So those are going to be first. And each one of those is going to take minimum a week to a month, depending on how much details you're going to be put in, how much there is to talk about, things like that. So at the earliest, expect those to be done by December or January 1st or January 31st at probably the latest, maybe sometime in February if it takes a really long time for one of them. On top of that, it's the holiday season, so lots of things get in the way. So at the best, based on that current statement, God of War Ragnarok Valhalla DLC is going to be 3 videos from now, at the earliest. That's not saying there are other videos after that. After that, there's probably one big one that people wanted to talk about that I won't spoil. Then there are two other big ones that he wants to do that people have been asking him to talk about for a while that I won't spoil. So I would wait 5 videos at the earliest right now for God of War Ragnarok Valhalla DLC. We will see any Age of Mythology stuff, game stuff, or live streams of you and him stream the Age of Mythology game. Probably not, because most people don't actually care about Age of Mythology. I'm going to tell you that right now. Most people don't care that much about it, and the ones who do don't really care about live streams about Age of Mythology. It's not a very popular game. It has a very strong cult following, so that gives it a lot of what's the word? That gives it a very strong fan base who, when they see something happening, they react. Most gamers don't care about that game. Most gamers don't even really like RTSs that much. RTS is already a fairly niche group of people, right? And then, every group has a niche, but they're like the popular ones, the overall popular ones are platformers, Dark Souls, or Soulsborns, roguelikes and roguelites. Those ones are pretty popular. Some sort of farming sim, and FPS games. Though those are the popular games that most people have played and watch streams of consistently. And sandbox games. I almost forgot sandbox games. How am I doing? I'm doing good. Hello, Malanique. Record Ragnarok is based on mythology people, but not real stuff. I think I know what you're trying to say, but please rewrite that to be more clear. I think you're trying to say that the Record of Ragnarok series is based on the ideas in mythology and the characters in mythology, but it is not following the true stories, characters, beats of mythology and incorporating it. In which case, yes, that is true. Like Thor is a good example. Thor is known for being strong and having a hammer and having some sort of lightning powers. Thor in Record of Ragnarok is very skinny, super anime with the long hair, has a giant hammer that is not how it is described in mythology. Literally, it's described as having not long enough of a handle, for starters, and it's described to look more like just a typical one-handed hammer. Not our typical, but their typical kind of battle hammer. And also in Record of Ragnarok, it has flesh underneath and is alive, which is not at all true. I mean, it might be alive, but it doesn't have flesh inside it, at least in no description I have ever heard. So I know what you mean. Zeus is not that old in Greek mythology. Well, that's not necessarily true. He is old in Greek mythology. He just doesn't present as old. And the reason I say he doesn't present as old is because it is implied and more or less directly proven that gods in Greek mythology can make themselves look like whatever they want, more or less. Zeus is described as looking more like a buff man in his Middle Ages, with graying white hair and stormy eyes. But he could look like an old ancient guy if he wanted to. He just doesn't. Oh, you've changed your name, Adro. Why? Zeus looks old as shit. Yeah, because he wants to. And that's the anime trope. They like the old guy who's like, yeah, I'm an old man. But then he's actually super buff because of Master Roshi from Dragon Ball. So if you recognize it as a Master Roshi styled character, it makes a lot more sense. Anyways, we're going to get to the meat of what we're doing. I'm going to take these off. So I won't be hearing the music. But I will still see chat. We're going to start with talking about the new equipment I got. First, we'll I'll show you the main important piece. Well, not the main important, but one of them. Actually, there's quite a few packages, as we call them here in the Dragon's Den. All right. Okay, so first, I'll show you the mic that we are currently using. We're currently using this guy, this little guy right here, and I'll mute this one and unmute that one to show you the difference. So the main mic we use for this set up is the Elgato Wave 3. Elgato Wavelength 3? I'm just gonna say Wave 3. Because I used to use a mic exactly like that one, but it started breaking, and I was like, I want to get a new mic. I want to get something that's better, has better sound quality in my opinion, and this was one that I really liked. I tested it out for a week before I thought, do I want to give it back or not? And I decided to keep it. I like it quite a bit. So that's what we use in Elgato Wave 3. Now I'm going to mute this. This is the, what is it called? The Yeti Blackout. There's also the Yeti Whiteout. This is the mic I used to use for a long time, and I got this as a second one because they're pretty cheap. I think this is like about $100 for this mic, which is pretty cheap for microphone technology. And I've had this for years, at least 5 years at this point, at least. And it's not bad quality. Like, you can hear me. I'm sure I sound okay. But I'm also sure I sound better here. I feel like I sound a lot better through here. And this is what I've been using for the, what do you call them? The couch live streams when we're sitting on this chair over here, and then there's a chair right here, right off. It's literally right off screen. You can barely not see it. But this chair and this chair, I've been using this mic sitting right here. One second. In between Andrew and I, when we stream. I just realized I unmuted it by accident. In between Andrew and I when we stream, and the sound has started to. I've started to notice that there's a lot of not echo. I just don't like the way the sound. I don't like the way the sound is. So I did some research a month ago, I want to say, into some new microphones, and I got this. The I'm trying to see the Fifine Amplitank K688 XLR to USB dynamic mic. I got this, and I got a copy. I got two of them, and the plan is to hook them up to this, the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, which is a audio interface. Those of you who don't know much or anything about microphone technology, I will get into that in a second. The forum guy, who I don't know who that is at all. I believe that's supposed to be Shiva from Hindu mythology. I don't have no idea what happened. Normally it was my tag on YouTube and channel name was Adro. I guess YouTube hates me. I can't tell you. That's weird. That's bizarre. Unfortunately, I don't know how to help you then. Sorry, I was just plugging something back in. It'll be... So anyways, to teach you guys about audio technology real quick, the basic knowledge I can impart. I don't have that much knowledge, but I do have a bit of comprehensive knowledge. There are a bunch of different types of microphones. There's condenser microphones, pencil microphones, shotgun microphones. I'm forgetting what the other types are called. And it changes the quality and the sound of the speaker with each type. The most microphones you see people use on videos or streams are one of two types. They are USB, for the obvious reason of all computers have a USB plug. And so this is a USB plug. It goes in USB and goes there, and that gives it a bit of a, I don't want to say a digital sound, but it gives it kind of a less dynamic sound. These are what are these are USB and XLR. XLR is like the type of, one of the best types of plugs for audio microphone technology to truly capture the more dynamic real sound while also avoiding pulling in outside sound. So this mic, it's the front is here. You can probably hear me doing that. Right? You can hear me doing that. This part is not part of the mic. I mean, physically it is, but I don't believe there is a microphone on the back here. So like if I start talking like this, I sound a lot different than if I'm talking like this, right? And so, and this is pretty good at just keeping the sounds here, but it also does pick up some sound. So if I walk farther away, like if I'm all the way over here, right? If I'm all the way over here, you can probably barely hear me, or I might sound kind of echoey. And then when I'm right here, because when I'm right here, it's made to pick up what is right here. That's its job. And the most microphones you see will be ones where they want to be like this close to make it sound better. This microphone here is a little bit worse. It's able to, so there are settings on the back to change it to, because it has a microphone on both sides of it, because the microphone is this top part, and you would assume that it comes from out here on the top, but that is incorrect. The microphone is here and here, and default it picks up sounds from in a 360 range. And here, I'll turn it on, and I'll even swap it to that mode to show you. So I believe it's on the 360 range now. And you'll notice that as I'm talking around it, it doesn't really change too much, if I'm correct. It's been a while since I've changed it. Normally, I have it on the forward range. So it's only picking up from one side. So this is the side it's going to be picking up from most, over here, on this side. And then over here it sounds worse, and as I get further this way, it's going to sound worse and worse. Whereas if I get further and further this way, like if I'm sitting in this chair here, right, you're going to be able to pick me up better and better. And then the further I lean forward, the worse it is. Wow, this chair is really broken. I need to do something about that. We're going to go back to the other mic. I'm not used to seeing you without glasses. Yeah, I'm not wearing them right now. These are my Gunners that I usually wear, so I'm usually like this for those of you who are new here. I'm taking them off because we're going to be doing a project, and they're just going to start getting caught on things, and I don't really need glasses. Like, whenever we're streaming on the couch, I use these. These are actual prescription glasses. The only reason I use these is because I am slowly getting more nearsighted, like my dad. But he didn't need glasses. Like, he didn't need glasses consistently until he was 40. I'm 31, so I'm probably not going to need them till I'm in my 40s. I do spend a lot more time at looking at screens, which is degrading my eyesight slowly. So I might need it closer to 35 if I'm unlucky. And I don't take care of my eyes, which is why I usually wear these. These are blue light reflectors. You can see the blue light of my light here being reflected off right there, because its job is to literally keep blue light from reaching my eyes, because that's what really degrades your eyesight and gives you headaches and hurts your eyes. The main reason I wear these when we're sitting at the couch is because, well, I can see things on the screen okay. Like the gameplay I can see fine. I don't have a problem with that. When there are texts on screens, the further away they are, the more blurry they become, and the more I have to start squinting to read them. Especially, I don't know what it is. A lot of games like to make their text this big. They don't like it, like, I need it like this big if I don't have my glasses. So I mostly wear these so I can read the text on screen. And it does give it a clearer image. It is clear. It's like, you know, the difference between like 720 and 1080. Not even. I think it's like less than that, but that's the best. I don't know what's in between. I guess there's like, okay, I guess it's the difference between 1080 and 1000. Right? Like, it's like, oh, yeah, that's a little blurry. And then it's like, oh, pretty clear. I've lost the plot. The hell are we talking about? Talking about microphone stuff because I have new microphones. And I'm going to be replacing this one live on stream. And I'm going to actually tell you guys of something really neat that I set up while we were gone. And the my mods are going to be able to do this too. Where is it? There it is. Where's it? Jarvis, pull up the help screen. Not what I wanted you to do. To the dragon's desk. Our ears are gonna explode. Look at that link. If you're a mod, look at that link. I have set up voice commands to swap the camera angles. So, for instance, if I say, "To the gamer mobile," we'll be at my gaming screen. This usually has a game down below, right? So I can actually change the screens. Jarvis, take us to the dragon's desk. Right? I can voice command change it just to show you. Now, this is the meme one. This is the meme one, everyone. To the casting couch. Hi there. How you doing? Wrong one. To the casting couch. Ayah. Did I change it? No. It should be up there. To the casting couch. There we go. It looks bad right now, but this is the normal couch screen. Now, if I turn the filters back on, looks familiar, don't it, chat? Looks familiar. How you doing? So yeah, I can now swap back and forth to the dragon's desk. Yeah, the thing doesn't always recognize my voice. But now if we're mid-thing and I have this microphone, because it's connected only to this microphone, like if I did it in the other one, in this one, it won't do anything. I can now swap which scene we're in, like that, with my voice. And also, mods, if you're in chat, if we're like let's say we're playing a game and I come to this screen and I forget to go back, as I often do, the mods can now type in, let's see. First, you can type in jhelp, and it'll bring up the help screen, right? I'm gonna turn off on YouTube. Only the mods on Twitch can do it right now. I haven't set up a way to send a message to YouTube, but the mods on Twitch can do this right now. And then you can do things like exclamation point couch. That'll change the camera. Let's see. Exclamation point. Not what I wanted to do. Where was it? Where did it go? There you are. Let's see. Exclamation point cam. Why did that not work? Hello? To the dragon's desk. Don't know why that didn't work. Strange. Let's see. Does the exclamation point PC work? Yeah, that one did. Oh, it might not be cam. It might be desk. Yeah, it's desk. Then I need to change that real quick. And then there's the special one. To the fractured eye. We're in the. I forgot that we're now in the all three setup, and I'm gonna leave this. Oops, not what I wanted to. Not what I wanted to do. One second, let me pull the chat back up. We're now able to see all three of my screens. Like you can see me waving. Hi. You can see my light on here. I might turn that off in a schmidgen. Z is without a doubt one of the best features you could have implemented. Thank you very much. You got an Iron Man AI set? Yes, thank you. I have set up an Iron Man. Now you might be wondering, what is that blurry ass picture in the bottom. Let's see if people can guess before I... Oh, too late. I forgot I had it pre-ready. Let me just... No. Stop fighting and do as you are commanded. Do as your lord commands. This is the... There we go. This is my phone cam. So and the reason I have this ready, you can even see. Look, double Zagard going on forever. And look, there's chat. There you are, chat. Oh, and my stickers. I don't think I've shown you my sticker setup in a while. So the reason we have this one here, the third one, is because we're going to be moving stuff in the corners that you can't see because they're off. They're out of frame. And I don't want to move this camera, and I definitely don't want to move this camera. This camera right here, the one I'm pointing at, is the most annoying camera to deal with right now because it is a webcam. And if you look at the way it's set up, let me see if I can, yep. The way it's set up is it's connected, it's being held on by a, here, I'm just going to unplug this because it doesn't need to be plugged in right now, but I will want to plug it in when it starts to get low. It's connected by this part, chat, right here. You see how it's like kind of bent in, and it's being held by this glass pane. It's being held by that glass pane. And if you ever notice why I can't read something, it's because the camera is right here. See where it is on the in the screen? If you're sitting where I am, it covers that section of the screen. It covers that section of the screen, and so sometimes if there's a text dialogue right in the middle, it cuts it off right in the middle, and I can't read it. Zagard into the Dragonverse, true. So let's set up the cam here, so that way I don't have to deal with holding it the whole stream. There we go. And I'm just gonna leave it there like this for now. The reason I'm setting it up is so you can see me setting up stuff here. Oh, I forgot to get more water. I'm Papega. Oh well. You see all that foam? All those foam blocks? I need to move those for setting up the new camera. So, or not the new camera, the new mic. Okay, so now I'm going to start moving stuff. First, we're going to take out the Scarlett, the audio interface. Because I feel like this should probably be set up first because I need to move wires around. And we're going to just open this up. I'm just going to tearing at the... I'll let you see what I'm doing with the... This is annoying. There we go. Look at that beautiful baby. Look at that beautiful red. And you can tell it's good quality because it's metal on the outside. It does have some, I think some of this is plastic, but that's fine. Doesn't need to be perfect. The reason I got this one, by the way, is because it has 2 XLR ports, so I can hook up 2 mics, which we're gonna have 2 condenser mics. So for now, just gonna set this. Sushi wants to come in so bad. I know, Sush, but you can't. I need my spassen. I need my spaß right now. Spaß is not a word. I'm just saying that because I can. So don't go trying to be learning. Don't learn the German with Zagard. Learning German with Zagard. Languages with Zagard. I am learning to speak the English thanks to Ray's videos. Old meme, if you know it. New meme, if you didn't. It came with this nice cord. This USB, let's see. This USB-C to USB-A. But I bought a longer one. I bought a much longer one because I wasn't sure how much spash I would need and how much length. Can you guys hear her meowing? I don't think you can, right? Oh, meow off. Okay, so let's unravel. Let's unravel that. Okay. Let's set up our... Let's actually start getting the setting up. Faintly we can. Good to know. Good to know. All right, so first let's set it up where we're going to put it. We're going to put it behind... going to put it behind some of my stuff because I have a spot right on my desk where it can go. And then I can fit it. I'm going to move this for now. Just so I can deal with it directly. Okay, so now I'm going to move. And I'm going to lift this so you can see it. You might not be able to hear me very well, but you're going to be able to see kind of, let me... Do I want to? Yeah, I might as well. Can I even... There we go. Double the Zagard. Double the Zagard. Double the fun. Let's see. This way you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. Let's see. First we got to get behind the computer and plug this in. Yeah. As you can see, I'm not organized in the slightest. Okay, let's... Which side goes where? And we find it plugged in the air. Okay. According to my measurements, this should be long enough. Yes, it seems my measurements were correct. It is quite long. Okay, now I need to... Oh, this is where it gets difficult. Let's put that over there. There. And there. And then we're gonna move this. I'm actually just gonna unplug it for now because it's just in the way. Okay, come on. Let's find out. Okay. Well, that's just lovely, isn't it? I've got some twisted cords, which I freaking hate when that happens. But I'm not great at the cord management. So I can only blame myself, as they say. But as we all know, nothing is my fault. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sushi, please stop meowing. I'm trying to work. I know it sounds like I'm just having fun, but I am not. No, not right now, I'm not. Okay. There we go. Oh. That was annoyingly difficult. I got the flu. Ooh, that sucks. We can hear her. She is so cute, but yeah, she's not allowed in the room today. She might be later. What's the point of the riddle in ancient Egypt? What do you mean? What is the point of the riddle in ancient Egypt? I don't understand the question. When did we go to this screen? To the fractured eye. What do you mean? What is the point of the riddle in ancient Egypt? I don't understand the question. Okay, what were we, right, the cord. The lid. I'm gonna move the desk off the carpet, which I hate doing, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. Delicate procedure. Oh, cheese and crackers. Okay. You know, I'm going to be right back. I need some more light. You get to see multiple angles of my office for once. Okay. I put on a headlamp, guys, so I can see what I'm doing. Because I'm doing this pretty late in the day, so I'm missing out on a lot of light that I could have been getting. I'm going to wipe down this area really quick. Just because I can. Hi, Sush. Just wiping this corner down to clean it of any loose hairs. I don't really need to do that, but I shined a light on it and now it's bugging me. Okay. Now we're gonna plug this in. Plug it back in real quick. Let me know if you guys hear the doo-doo sound, the notification of it being plugged in. If you have a Windows device, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'm very confused what device you have. Well, not confused, but I'm curious what device you do have. Okay, it seems like it is plugged in. Seems I'll have to rearrange the space on my desk, but that's okay. Okay, this I will keep to the side for now. Gods of Egypt was a sphinx who you had to answer a riddle. Yes, what about it? Damn, he's getting serious. I'm activating my final form. My final second, third, fourth form. Keck. Ooh, no, I don't want that out. Oh, I have too much crap on my desk. I need to hire somebody to help me get rid of all this crap. Not really, but really. I mean, the answer is the point of it in Gods of Egypt is because it's narratively fascinating. That's the whole point of it in Gods of Egypt. In ancient Egypt, I mean, everybody likes all nations like different ways to show wit and intelligence, and one of the best ways to do that is riddles. So there probably are riddles in ancient Egypt. I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty obvious answer when you think about it for a few seconds. Okay, now I gotta move that stuff. Oh, good. I can see that the audio interface is turned on. Okay. Turning on the shitty phone mic for now, chat. So prepare your ears. Extra prepare your ears. Now we need to do a couple of things. First, I need to move all this foam back here. The cats love it, and I don't mind it here, but it needs to be moved into the corner for now. For the next step of the evil plan. You can see where they've been scratching it. Look at all that. Look at all that. Silly floofins. And then you can see my cable management is trash, right? Yeah. Look at that trash cable management. Now is the part I am most worried about. I'm gonna change mics. Now is the part I'm most worried about, chat. We're gonna be. See, to hold a microphone, it needs a stand of some kind. And I bought these. Now this might just look like a big white box of nothing. And that's because technically it is right now. But there's something inside. And I'm gonna move my chair forward so you can see what that something is. Sounds like Xbox 360 mic. True. Turn that god-awful ear torture off. Watching you do this live is giving me so much anxiety, Lamau. Well, doing it is giving me anxiety, but doing it with people makes it a little bit easier. I like humans. Which part is the part that's giving you anxiety, Sam? Samothy? All right. So if you can't tell what this is, it's a No, I'm just kidding. That's right. That's how I get rid of trash in my house. I just throw it. You're welcome. So what this is a mic stand. Right, I have to. This is a mic stand. Maybe it's easier to see it here. I'm gonna turn off one of these lights for now. Yeah, we'll have that one on to make it brighter. So this is a mic stand, as you can see. You also get to see my full office. My office space probably looks a lot smaller now that you've gotten a peek in front of the curtain. It's not even behind the curtain. You don't even get to see what's behind there. Behind there, literally garbage. Literally garbage. Inside the box is a power of friendship. Poseidon. All of it. Oh, that's unfortunate for you then. So the hard part now is figuring out if this triangular space will fit down there. I'm hoping. Now down there, I don't have a problem with. Where the phone camera is right now, I'm not worried. It's over here. Because if you can't tell, here, I'm gonna move, where is it? Here, actually, I'll put this up here. Because you don't need to see above. I just realized. If you can't tell, here, I'll set up the setup how I normally have it when it's just me and Andrew. Normally, literally all I do I do is I put my chair all the way down and I just push it in as much as I can. And that gives me just enough space here. You see visually from the chair that I can cut it off so you don't see it. And then over here, I just cut off this section here. So all you see is the green screen on screen, right? But literally, like maybe 3 feet away from this door, or 3 feet away from this chair, is the door. And it hits the green screen. No, swoosh, back. And that's why you used to see the corner of it up here above Andrew. And I recently just cropped it so that way the top is here so you can't see the corner up here. That's a long-winded way to say, if I set up a microphone right here, I was very worried that putting a microphone there is going to get hit by the door. And I did not want that to happen, like at all. I just realized I could be talking to you like this. I didn't want that to happen at all. I didn't want that to get hit by the door. So, but now I see that that's probably not a problem. But we're gonna work on this one because I have the camera set up for it. So, let me do that. Okay, so you're gonna see me you're gonna see me over here in this corner. I'm gonna be hidden here. I can move the chair so you can actually see me. Again, I hate moving the chair off of this carpet because there's just a lot of reasons. Okay, let's try our best to move around and set this up. Let's take off. Oh, flapjack. Double flapjack. That almost just slid out and hit my face, which would not have been fun. Okay, let's take this out. Put it with the garbage. And put it with the parts. Am I just supposed to cut this off? I'm going to say yes. It's a good thing I'm the downstairs neighbor because that would have been annoying to hear if I was living underneath somebody. Okay, so this is a very new device for me, so I'm not exactly sure how to set it up together. So we're going to figure it out all together. Okay. So let's see. This is where this part here, I'm 90% sure right here is for the microphone to go on. And this, yes. This is the arm for the microphone. Can it extend longer than this? It was supposed to be able to extend longer. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be able to extend longer. Okay, let me sit down on the floor, chat. We're doing some floor sitting. Some good old-fashioned floor sitting. To figure this out. hurts. Okay. I'm just gonna have this be not extended for now. That holds it in place? Yes, it does. No. Okay. How do I even attach this? I am so confused right now, chat. I am so confused. What is that sorcery? What is what oh, the Huh. I feel like there's okay, so that's as tall as that goes for now. Is there a part I'm missing? No, that's the other one. The box is empty. To the fractured eye. So as you can see, chat, the box is empty. So I do have everything out. But I don't know. Ah, I see. Okay. Does it not go? Ah, okay. Does it only go this high? I thought it was taller. Okay, okay. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, and then this goes on here, I believe. You know, I'm gonna turn this around. That way you can kind of see what I'm doing. Can you see this, chat? Here. And we'll move it even. Here, I'll move that down. So that way I can move this down. There we go. Getting full use out of my 3. Okay, so this goes on here. I'm 90% sure. All right. I hope these are tall enough. If not, we might have a problem. Okay, so let's see. Then this goes on like that. We're pretty sure. on my back. Ah, come on. Come on, you silly thing. Let me look into your holes. Where did I put my... Where did I put my forehead lamp? I need the light. There it is. It was right next to me. Papija. Okay. You know, being able to see is nice. Being able to see is tight. Okay, put these on. Oh, come on. Is this? Yes. Okay, gotta turn it. Oh, that makes it so much easier. And then I can just, okay, sweet. Okay, we got one figured out at the very least. This is much shorter than I wanted it to be. Actually, wait, maybe it's not. Now, is there a way to extend the arms further? Wait, I think there is. Yes! Yes, chat. Look at that. Look at that. Originally, it was like this. And I was like, how do I make it longer? That's kind of short. Voila! And what's nice is it's not like some of the other older other models where you when it goes in, this part comes out. It thankfully as if it here, I'll show you what I mean. Like this, right? So this would be the full length of the entire thing. Thankfully, it's a double arm. So this is inside, so if I'm adjusting this, I don't have to worry about the length too much. Okay, so now we're just gonna set it up over in the corner here. So let me adjust everything to do that. Oh, I'm Papega. I'm so dumb. There's an instruction manual that I could have been using this whole time. I could have been using this instruction manual the whole time. And I was like, no. You know what? That just shows how smart I am. I can figure it out on my own. Does every culture have a mythology? Probably. I can't say for certain, but almost definitely. Because there's no way that there was a human species who saw the sun, the moon, the stars, tornadoes, lightnings, earthquake, whatever, and just went, yeah, that's just how it is, and moved on with their day. There was definitely someone who associated some sort of, you know, mythical power to why that was. Some overarching being. Because there was people always needed ways to explain their stuff. I thought you were intentionally ignoring it. No, I put it here on my desk. And since I have ADHD, if you guys don't know, when in ADHD, if something is not in your line of sight and you're not thinking about it, it doesn't exist. Because to put it this way, to put it in a way that makes a lot of sense, right? Where is your... What room number was your third grade classroom? Right? What room number was your third grade classroom? What wing of the building was it in? What floor was it on? Doesn't matter. You're not thinking about it. It's not important to your daily life now. More importantly, it's not important to what you're doing right in this moment. So you erase that information from your brain, or you store it away somewhere else. With ADHD, if there's not something that is vitally obvious and important and right in our faces, there's a high likelihood it's like that third grade classroom. Doesn't matter. Don't need to remember it. Purge it from the data or put it in like hidden folders. All right. Now we're going to actually put this where we want it. And then we're going to do it all again. All right, chat. Let's see if this fits. Okay, so that might look like it fits, but there's more to it. I should not be standing on this chair. It has to fit in a way that doesn't interrupt any other cords. More importantly, make me annoyed. Thankfully, this is all foam over here. Hi, chat. I don't want you seeing my trash. Thankfully, I take care of my body just enough to still be able to move around like that. One day when I have a better office, I'm going to set it up so that way I don't have to go into corners like that. Okay. So I think it's set up, more or less. We're going to set up the next one. Sam, do you like my carpet? My rug? Parents got it at a school auction when I was in elementary school. I love this rug, chat. I wish you guys could see it, because you can't really see it because my desk is in the way. But there's a dragon, a Chinese dragon on my carpet. I've literally had this since I was like maybe 10 years old. Probably younger. Zagard is very private about his trash. Yeah, I'm a raccoon dragon. I'm a dragpoon. A dragon raccoon. Okay, let's get some lighting. Chat, let me know if you can see okay. Trying to keep, who needs instructions when you have dainbermage? That's true. What is that, sorcerer? How do you feel that ADD is now part of ADHD? I don't mind, and it makes a lot of sense. They're very similar in nature, and when us learning that they're actually not separate, I think it's a better thing for ADHD people. Because here's the thing, most people are like, oh, I want to be special. I want to be different than everybody else. And that's a thought you have a lot as a kid, because adults are always telling you, you are special, you are different, you can be your own person. And while I believe individuality is an important factor in humanity, and North American culture as a whole, I also know what it's like to feel separate from everyone and like you're different and no one will understand you. and there's something wrong with you. And if only you could fix that, things would be so much better. Right? Does that make sense? And so, oh, I'm dumb. The washer goes on this side. I have to fix the other one now. I'll do that after I do this one. So, anyways, having people with ADD under the same umbrella as ADHD is both better for, in my opinion, for categorization and helping strategies, or coping mechanisms, or tools for improvement. It also gives a level of shared reality, which I wish I had sometimes growing up. Is this as tall as the other one? I'm gonna say yes. And then we're gonna put this on. Okay, come on. You're getting there. You're getting there. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Zagard got a sick rug when I was a kid. I had those rugs with the roads on them. Ooh, that's cool. I love those. Chinese mythology, Japanese mythology, are they linked together somehow or no? No, they're not. I mean, so here's the thing about Asia as a whole and Asian culture. Chinese culture was extremely dominant for multiple centuries, kind of like how American culture is dominant now. And if you look at the regions around America and the regions that consume American entertainment, they are very similar in a lot of ways. They are different still. Like Canada and United States are still different countries with somewhat different beliefs. But when you look at their when you zoom in on their cultures, they're very similar. You'd be hard pressed to find something that makes them extremely unique, where it's like, oh, they're completely different. They're not completely different. They're different, but they're not completely different. Think of it as the difference between, you know, French fries from McDonald's and French fries from In-N-Out or Burger King or Shake Shack or whatever. They're all still French fries. Yes, some places make much better French fries, but at the end of the day, you're eating slices of potatoes that have been battered in oil or animal fat. So, and so many centuries ago, China was and is now still, but mostly back then was the dominant cultural and financial power of Asia. And so a lot of habits and beliefs come from the Chinese cultural influence throughout the centuries. That being said, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Philippines, etc., all develop their own unique personalities. Think about it like a set of quadruplets, right? Or pentuplets or whatever, right? All of them are siblings. They all share the same DNA up to a certain point, but they all have their uniquenesses. One person dyes his hair blue. One person shaves his head. One person grows his hair super long. One keeps it in a buzz cut. One keeps it super neat. They all have distinct ways things that make them different, but they are still very similar. And that's why Chinese and Japanese culture and mythology tends to kind of be similar and have bleed over. And then also same with Hindu, Korean, and Thai, and so on and so forth. The best example I can think of off the top of my head is Sun Wukong from Chinese mythology and Hanuman from Hindu mythology are basically the same character. just from different cultures. That isn't to say that one was stealing or copying from the other and the other one has no creativity. It's just humans are humans. Humans are going to human. I mean, how many times was there like, is there a guy who's super strong in mythology, or a guy who's really good at using arrows because that was like the dominant sort of ranged weapon for a long period of time, or the guy who's good with swords, or the guy who has a flying creature, or the guy who was bestowed powers by the gods, or how many times was there a flood in mythology? How many regions have some sort of magical reptilian creature that we usually refer to as a dragon? Like, humans are not very unique. We think we're the first one ever to think of this thing. I'm the first one to discover the color blue. And then it's like another guy on the other side of the world does the same thing. A more modern explanation of that is the invention of the egg carton. If you look up the invention of the egg carton, there are people who will claim, oh, it's an American tradition or American invention. And there have been people who on national TV have claimed that egg cartons are a Canadian invention. But if you look into the history of it, like 20 different people all at the same time invented some sort of thing to hold eggs in, made of the new material at the time, cardboard. They just had slightly different shapes or variations, but they were all basically the same egg carton. Finally made it. Glad you made it. So humans are super similar. Super in that way. Zagard is saying, oh, yeah. Man, Zagard's speaking to my soul. I was always and still am the weird guy in the room. It's hard not being the same. No, it is, I can assure you. Yeah, well, it is hard feeling like you're completely different than people. It really is. And everybody goes through that at different points in their life. Everybody. There is no person out there who's like, I'm just like everybody else, and I'm comfortable with that. If they are the most, you know the SpongeBob meme? The hi, how are you? The Sponge Robert or whatever it is. You know that scene? There is nobody in the world who was, for their whole life, was like, hi, how are you? I'm just Robert. Sponge Robert. How are you? Hi. No, everybody goes through their phases. Everybody goes through their angry. Like, the human biology and psychology demands delineation from the regular. The problem is there are going to be periods in our life, and some people have longer and some people have shorter. I had a very long, have had and still do have a huge period of my life where I don't feel like I am like most other people. And I probably never will feel like I'm other people because I am literally a neurodivergent. My brain chemistry literally functions differently than other brains. But I have found people who understand me and can accept me, and I have found a partner, thankfully, who also has a level of neurodivergency, and I can talk to her about it, and I can understand why I'm neurodivergent, and how my neurodivergency isn't really that I'm different, it's just an extreme of the same. For instance, we all love some sort of structure. Everyone wants to know what they're doing for the day, because then you get to know when you can stop. Like if I tell you you're working from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., that's going to suck, but you know after 5 p.m. you can do what you want. Now, if I tell you you're working tomorrow and I don't give you a time, you're going to go, and then I walk in and I'm like, why aren't you here? It's 9 a.m. You're going to freak out and be like, well, I didn't know. You never told me, right? And then if you feel like you want to leave at 5 and I say, no, you got to keep working, you're also going to be like, why do I have to stay? If there's no like set standard, you're going to freak out. Me having ADHD, it's not like a normal freak out that's like, no, I don't like that. It goes from, okay, I'm going to be done, to, what the fuck do you mean I'm not done? And I explode. I'm literally like a volcano in that instance. And some of that comes from my parents and my upbringing, because my dad has a lot of rage in him that he passed on to me, positively and negatively. There are positive times to use rage, but that's another conversation. And so because of my ADHD, when I get negative cracks in my psyche, it is much more explosive to me on the inside than it is for other people. So, I'll always feel different, but it's learning to fit the different pieces of the puzzle into the puzzle. Hell, let's look at freaking calculus. Both Newton and Leibniz invented that shit independently. Exactly. I don't know who Leibniz is. Leibniz? Lebanese? No, that's a culture or a language. Point is, yeah, all the different monsters in Greek mythology are different. I have extreme ADHD. Yes and no. I could show you how they're not that different. And honestly, your ADHD is probably not as extreme as you think it is. You're probably just young and you haven't spent enough time learning the correct methods to deal with it. I highly recommend the channel How to ADHD. That's how I started earlier this year to learn about different things that triggers my ADHD and causes my ADHD to block my progress. And watching that made me feel, oh, there are other people like this. And I'm actually not the worst. Sometimes I forget you say some wise ass things. Thank you. Comes from personal experience. Has anyone seen Has-Been Hotel? No. I don't watch Has-Been Hotel and I don't want to. There are too many things to watch. And I've seen the art style and the animation. And I've heard people's description of it. And it doesn't sound like my kind of show. I take medicines for my ADHD. So do I. And I also took them when I was in high school. They didn't help in high school. They help now. Different medications, different person. Medications only help if you already have good habits. I will tell you that. Because when I took them in high school, it had like almost no change. I take them now after almost 6+ months of learning how to deal with the problems and making solutions and foundations to fix them. And so now instead of like being a chicken with his head cut off and putting a Band-Aid on it, I have a chicken with his head that's spinning and is confused. And then he gets goggles that help him focus. That's the difference. Okay, I'm going to put this one over on the other side. It's getting hot. I have to take my quarter zip off, chat. Manual labor always makes me sweaty. I say that like that's weird. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. Okay, let's see. Let's put you like this. Yeah. And then turn you like this. Yeah. Yeah, that is good. Das is good. And then we tighten you like this. We tighten you like this, yeah, und good. Very good, und yeah. And then we loosen you and put you all the way out like this. And then okay, we're gonna leave that one like that. I'm gonna fix the bolt on this real quick. I'm gonna sit down and do it. So you won't really see me doing it. But that's not my problem, that's your problem. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, we fixed it. We fixed the problem. We are not going to be able to get to the other stuff I wanted to do today's stream. I realize this. And that's okay. Learning to accept when things don't go the way you wanted them to is part of growing up. And then I'll extend it out here for now. Just so. To the fractured eye. SMH in my head. Streamer bot, you need to get better at understanding what I'm saying. Oh. Okay, I'm going to take off my quarter zip real quick, chat. If you don't know what a quarter zip is, it's a jacket that has a quarter zipper on it. Oh, I have a Christmas dragon on my shirt. So you guys can see my Christmas dragon. Actually, you can see it right here. Christmas dragon. Perfect for the holidays. Okay, now the next part. We take out the microphones. The microphones. I'm gonna sit down. Oh, I'm squatting. I wouldn't normally do this down here, but whatever. User's guide. Saying this out loud so I know where it is. I just realized my other mic is all the way up there. Can you hear me, chat? So here's the what's it called? The Fifine? Yeah, the Fifine. Here's the new Fifine mics that we'll be using for and they go like this, so the mic top is here. These are much lighter than I thought they'd be. This feels like almost hollow. Just to show you what the actual mic looks like. And then this is just a cover. Extra points to whoever can guess what the cover is for. Okay. Will this fit on there? No. To the fractured eye. To the fractured eye. Jarvis has some kinks to work out, but so far it's okay, I guess. Okay, I gotta put this part on. Oh no. Do I actually need to put it on? Does this fit independently? Oh, I don't actually need to put a part on. That's nice. Okay. Thought I would. Some kinks to work out. You kink shaming a clanker? Yes. Does anyone here play Night Rain? I do not. I haven't even played I have not even played base Elden Ring because it's not my thing. I hate that this happens with the camera. This is why I hate Logitech G Hub. It always changes my settings, even when I don't want it to. And it's like, this is what you wanted, right? And I'm like, no. Why would you think that? And they're like, well, because shut up. And it's really annoying. Okay, so we're putting the mic on now. I do have another part that's coming in later. So this won't be the final setup. But it is pretty close to what I want for now. Okay, so we got the mic set up. If you look here, it'll go like that. And for now, let's do that. And I'm gonna put this away. Oh no. We'll have this set up for later. And not going to use a USB-C to USB-A because I bought some Go XLR cables. Okay. Speaking of, let's move those over here. Now let's open the second one and set it up. It's been 50 years. You know, as a student teacher of my one of my concerns is how to best to help students with exceptionalities, including ADHD. So, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask if there's anything your teachers did or you wish teachers did for you in school that helped you out. That's a loaded question there, Yuki. It's a double-sided loaded question. So, the answer is, to start, is there are definitely things they did to try to help. And there are definitely things they did that did help. No. Don't feel bad. The reason I say it's a loaded question is because my experience is not necessarily the same as other people's experience. And I'm a stubborn person. So if I am not happy with something, I will ignore it, even if it's worse for me. So how do I explain this as best I can? Most resources when I was in school were just like, here's some extra time. You can work on a computer instead of having to handwrite everything, and you will have people to help you through your homework, which are all very useful, and I won't say are not useful. I think the most useful thing teachers can do is to force you to spend time. So if like you're a math teacher and you're trying to teach high school students and they're having a problem and they're not doing well in class, if their grades are low enough, you can, and you have the authority to do what I'm about to say, make them come into your classroom at lunchtime and do homework or something, or study for a test. That way you're there to monitor them, and if they need help, you can kind of give them more one-on-one. Unfortunately, you'd be only one person, so there's only so much you can do. The best thing that I think helps, at least helps me, and I think helps other ADHD people too, is having some sort of schedule and learning to follow it. School does not teach you that for ADHD people. It doesn't teach it to you properly. It does tell you like, oh, here, like for instance, if you have a job, right? Your job is going to tell you what time to come in, and you're going to be like, okay, I'll go into work because that's the time. Same with school. It teaches you that, but making your own schedule and following the schedule that you create is a skill that they don't teach in school anymore. My dad told me they used to teach it like 50 years ago when he was in college. They used to teach it as a college course, how to make and use a day planner. They don't have that class anymore. If I had that class, I probably would have been doing a lot better than I am now. Like if you've been looking at the subscriber growth on YouTube over the last year, it's gone up by like 500 to 800 subscribers. And that's because I've been following a schedule to make sure I get content put out. Now, I haven't been getting long-form content, which is what I really want to be putting out, but I've been semi-consistent. I've been fairly consistent with putting out live streams that have thumbnails, and they're on YouTube, and they have good titles and things to catch people. That's part of my schedule. And I've been putting out 5 shorts, 1 short Monday through Friday, every single week, 90% of the time this year, because I have a schedule to make shorts on Sunday and then put them out each day. I found a way to make it easier on myself throughout the last few months, but that is learning to be more efficient with things I already do now. So in my opinion, the best thing you can teach an ADHD kid is how to make a schedule and how to follow it. But as a general ed teacher or a teacher in a specific profession, that is not going to be in your duties, nor your possibility to fix, unless you are specifically a special eds teacher. Experiences universal. I was just wondering if there's anything. Yeah, exactly. So in my opinion, the best thing is scheduling. After that, it's just making them do work consistently. And you'll have to figure that out on your own, because I'm not learning to be a teacher, and I don't want to give you wrong advice. That's the reason it's a double-edged question, by the way. I don't want to give you bad advice. I can give you advice that works for me, but it might not work for 90% of people. Okay, let's put the other mic on. Okay. Oh, my back. My back. My back hurt. Now we get the XLR cables I bought, and we plug them in. Ooh, I need to sit down on this for a second. I need a knife. Okay. Appreciate the input. Also, we also require to take a whole course in teaching students with exceptions, special ed, and get some good stuff there. I just figured hearing things from someone who actually lived through it might be valuable. No, it's. I'm glad you asked, regardless of how I feel about the question. I think it's better you asked than didn't, because it shows that you're thinking about it. I'm glad they start teaching more about special ed in regular general teaching now, because as a kid, they had special ed was still new. I would say when I was a kid, I wouldn't say like it was freshly discovered, but you know, when my parents were in school, they just called that being lazy. When my older cousins were in school, they just said you were special and you needed to try harder. So it's still kind of being lazy, but they were better about it. And then, I was born in the mid 90s. So in the early 2000s, they started they started coddling people more in the 90s and 2000s. And so they're like, "Oh, they just need extra help." And they'd be like, "It's okay, just try your hardest." And it's emotionally supportive, but it doesn't actually help. We've learned now that people with disabilities actually need more firm. They need more of a firm assistance that's like, no, you need to do X, Y, and Z, instead of a just try your hardest, right? So that's the difference there. I'm not trying to shit on anybody. It's just that for me, as a kid, being told, "Hey, just try your hardest," it helped me feel better, but it didn't help me get better. If I had someone who was like, "Okay, you need to make a schedule and you need to do this," now I have an ADHD coach who talks about it, but even then, there's no judgment. It's not about judgment. It's just about accountability. That's the main thing. Accountability, teaching someone to do better and also helping them with accountability helps a lot. Because trying to be accountable of yourself is basically impossible when you already feel like shit, but you also don't want to be doing. You just I just want to play video games all day. I'm being honest. I just want to watch anime, play video games, maybe go to the movies, go to Disneyland. That's all I want to do. I just want to hang out with people. But I also want to feel valuable and useful. And to do that requires some sort of work and effort of some kind. So yeah. Okay, I'm realizing now these cords I got are way too freaking long. Like, look at this, chat. Look at how much cord there is here. I got a really long cord because I was worried about it getting caught on things, which is probably better than not, but I just feel stupid and wasteful now. Okay, let's see. Give me a second. Hi, Crocodile. Is this Crocodile the animal or Crocodile the person? Playing video games and watching anime all day sounds like the dream for about a week. Having ADHD, for me, it would be like 2 months before it starts becoming a problem to me. And then I get really depressed. The thing is, for me, it's like bad habits stick around for... Oops. No, I didn't. Okay. Thought I pressed something. Stick around for a lot longer. And they don't affect me until I'm at my breaking point, basically. Okay, let's see. I need the headlamp again. I keep taking this off and then putting it back on. I mean, I didn't need it to open the box, so I guess it makes sense. Okay, let's see. What's on you, buddy? Ah, you're the male. Just for anybody who doesn't know, this is called the female plug, and this is called the male. If you can't tell why, then I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. It goes in this way, I believe. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna go under my desk, so you're not gonna see me or hear me for a minute. I'm gonna go mole. Actually, here, I'll make it so you can see me. Kind of. Hi, chat. It is dirty down here. Dirty, dirty, dirty. I'm a dirty boy. I don't know why I said that. Actually, I do know why. I thought it would be funny. And now I just realize it's cringe. Cringe. Which is a type of funny, I guess. Okay, let's just untangle this and then retangle it. Where are you? There you are. It's like a snack. It's like a snack. Why are we all twisted up like that? Oh, my neck. Ah, my neck. Ugh. My neck, chat. My neck. Oh my god. My neck. My neck. My neckety neckety neck. Ooh, I think I found a way for you to... There we go. Now you can kind of hear me again, right? Can you hear me? Just gonna assume you can hear me. Okay. Okay. You might be wondering why I'm twisting it up like this. It's so that way it doesn't take up space. And it's close to what I need it to be on. Is there a better way to do this? Ow! I wonder, is there a better way to do this? Probably. Let me try to do this from over here. That way I'm not hurting myself as much. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. That got spoopy. I mean, at least it's not too short. Yeah, that's the reason why I got the super long ones. Man, I mean, at least it's not. Watching anime playing games sounds like heaven. It does until you realize that you feel useless. And I mean that literally. Like, you literally start to feel useless if that's all you do all day. It's one of the reasons I started streaming during COVID. I wanted to at least be providing something to someone. And streaming is a nice way to provide entertainment while doing what I love. And then Andrew needed some help. If it falls, it's not a big deal. I keep trying to catch it from falling, but is it really a problem, chat? I mean, yes, but like, what's it gonna fall into? The chair? The cushioned chair? Oh no. How could we let that happen? Okay, how much longer do I need this to be? Not much. I really don't need I didn't need a cord this long at all. I might be a grade A idiot for getting such a long ass flapping cord. I just realized something. Yeah, let me fix something real quick. Okay. Whew. I'm trying to feed some more cord. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. Now it's more kind of tied up on here. And then we'll let that hang. Maybe I should undo what we did. I'm gonna put this next to the mic so the actual mic we're using. I don't want to undo all this work though of tangling this. No, that's not gonna do what I want. It's fine. Not meant to do that. COVID is a prime example. My ass never watched as much anime in such a density as during that time. Let me tell you, don't feel the greatest with that. I don't feel terrible with how much I spent enjoying myself during COVID. It just started becoming... After like 3 months, I started to hate it. Claire started to hate it way earlier. And I was like, hey, just why don't you practice music? And she started streaming singing on... I forget the name of the platform. And it was made by the same guy who made Pandora, if you know that music streaming service. Okay, I think that's enough twisting of these chords. Still going to have a lot of loose cord, and I'm a little worried about that for floof reasons. Feline reasons, if you know what I mean. Okay. Okay, I'm going to be quiet-ish, chat. You might not hear me. Okay, we have one mic plugged in. One of two mics plugged in. Let's... The question now is, do we want to try to test out these mics real quick? The answer is maybe. First, I want to plug in get the second one ready. So we'll do that first. I'm wondering, do these need to be... Let me check. I'm checking to see how the... Okay, so this is teaching me basic setup. Okay. Okay, I see. Okay, cool. Doesn't seem like it needs... Yeah, that's for the headphones. Does it need... Does it need to be plugged in for power? That's the question, though. I don't know the answer to that question. It doesn't seem like it needs that for power. So, interesting. I do see a light on. I see a light on the inner Zagard tries a SMR. No. Not today. Not today, at least. I'm gonna move the mic out of the way so you won't hear me again, chat. Or if you do, it's gonna sound very slight. I unplug this. What do you show me now? Okay, we're gonna do a test. This is fully plugged in. Back. Ooh, okay. So I see the... Okay, I realize you guys can't hear me. Good news is, on my, okay, so that... good news is that on the, what do you call it? On the audio interface, good news is that on the audio interface, it seems like it recognizes what I'm doing. Does that mute it? No, it doesn't seem like it is muting it. Seems like it's still capturing it just fine. Okay, so this mutant button doesn't do anything unless we plug it in through USB, it seems. Which is a little annoying. I was hoping it would still work, but that's okay. I'm just putting a part back on real quick. Okay, I'm gonna need this. Maybe I move it down to over here. It's fine for now. Let's see. I'm gonna turn that up to like a fourth of the way. Let's plug in the second one and see what happens. Oh. Chat, this is tiring. This is very tiring, chat. So this needs the female side. So we're gonna go with the male side first. So this time, chat, we're actually gonna go in reverse with how we do this. Before we plugged it in the mic first, and then we plugged it into the audio interface. Now we're gonna go the opposite direction because I need to get it behind my chairs. And it's better to try to wrap it around stuff first before we have it plugged in my opinion. Oh, plugged into the mic side. Okay. So I'm gonna go silent. Okay, I have it plugged into the audio interface. Now we move the cords around the back here. We're gonna move the cords around the back behind the chairs. That way you don't see them, and I don't have to worry about tripping over them or anything like that. I will have to worry about some feline floofs attacking them, but We'll cross that cat bridge when we get to it. And this is why I got an extra long one. Because look at how much we have left to work with now, chat. I don't know how well you can see this because the chair's kind of in the way. Look at how much we have left to work with now. Further than the mic, but not by much. And also we need some slack. Because right now it's really tight on the other end. Which is not a good thing. So let's plug it into the bottom here first. And then try to fix that slack. Okay, let's get that tightness, so pull it back so it's not so tight. So that won't do what I want it to, so I'm just gonna... We're out. Okay. Now let's set this up so that way it works. Okay, now let's see. Oh, okay, so I can go all the way in. Cool. We'll set it like that. I'll give it some slack. We might actually even be able to... No, let's leave it like this, because then Andrew will be talking like this, and he'll remember to speak into the mic. Because that's, yeah. Even if he moves it back like this. Okay, that's good. I think that's fine. Is this being picked up? I can't tell. Hello, hello? I can't, that's unfortunate, but we'll figure it out later. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now let's. It went tight again, but not too tight, so that's the good news. So I'm gonna. It went tight again, but not too tight, so that's the good news. So I'm gonna try and fix that real quick before we move on. Oh, I'm free, chat. I'm free. Yeah. Now we plug that mic back in. To the fractured eye. Oh, it shouldn't be being picked up at all because I haven't put in a setting for OBS yet. So don't worry about that yet. I meant, is it getting picked up on the interface? Because the interface will tell me if something's getting picked up too. Okay. Okay, they're both plugged in. Now I have to figure out how to get the computer to recognize them and clean up my desk. I'm a little lightheaded, so that's fun. This is trash. I'll put this back at the very least. Fortunately, I'm gonna put this up here for now. We'll move it back later. But for now, it needs to be out of the way. Okay, now I have to do the annoying part of figuring out how to connect it. Sorry, gonna have that bright light there for a bit, chat. I'm gonna lift up my. There we go. That's better, I think. Tired. Is that gonna be putting in work? Yes, and I wanted to show it all to you because I think it's fun for you guys to see this. So now we I'm gonna Google. Yeah, let me see if I can try and brute force it first. How do I... Settings, audio... let's see, is there... There's wavelength... Wavelength stream, microphone logic, Brio. Yeah, none of those. Okay, first I should get the manual for the thing, wherever I put that. I put it down somewhere. Okay, so it's not up there. Where did I put the audio interface stuff? My brain is alive with the sound of screaming. This angle is so weird, I never know what camera to look at. Here. To the dragon's desk. To the dragon desk. There. Now there's... To the dragon desk. There we go. Now there's only one angle for you to look at. And we'll turn off that light. I just stare at the green sheet. Is this the... Oh, this is safety instructions, which I don't need. I had it in my hand. I'm a little annoyed. These are for the fee fine. Did I put it somewhere? No, I did not. I did not move it. Is it over here? No, that is trash. Is it in this? No, these are the XLR cables. This is a different box. It's another box. Where could you have gone, my instruction manual? I swear I did not mean to throw you away. My plan was not to make sure I could not find you. But I will figure it out either way. How to set up, how to connect your Scarlett 2i2 to OBS. Okay, plug it in. I don't need to have... I'll watch this on YouTube.
Jen, you'll need...
I need to put my glasses on. It's going to hurt my eyes if I don't. Okay, so I have to download software. Focus right. Focus R 2i2. I don't remember what gen is mine. Pretty sure, but I'm not 100%. 4th gen. For gen. Okay, where do I want to put it? Let me see. Where's OBS located? So it's in programs, files, and then focus right. How's focus right spelled? Oh, F focus RIT. Okay, I did that right. Cool. What do you mean I don't have permission to save in this location? It's my computer. I am the administrator of the machine. Bullshit. Fine. Where's the Shane folder? Resident sleeper, resident sleeper. A wormadam. I don't give a damn about your wormadam, ma'am. Okay, so not what I was trying to look for. Oh wait, it would be under users on Papega. Okay. I'm dumb. Okay, let's set this up. Yeah, English. Super. Okay, cool. Yep, accept the agreements, all that good jazz. Except I don't have to restart my computer. I probably will, to be honest. Alright, can we complete the installation of Focus Track Control 2? So we're going to have to restart, which is frustrating because YouTube gives you like 2 seconds. To do everything. So, Chat, we're either going to have to end here or restart. I think it might be best for us to just restart and pray that stream stays up. All right? We all good with that? You guys ready? Okay, I'm going to end the stream, and then as soon as it's done, I'm going to restart the computer. Okay? So, everybody pray with me that it comes back online.